G'day folks, what's going on? Just want to give you a really quick, behind the scenes or a little tip in this video about two simple Instagram posts that I'm making that are making an extra $200 to $500 per day. I want to show you the posts, and then more importantly, I want to show you how they're actually making this money. Okay, now I'll raise my hand. Instagram's never been a big platform for me, but I've started taking it a bit more seriously lately in two different ways. One, with the organic strategy that I'm using, and two, we're running more and more ads, and so I want the content on here to be set up in a way that when people land, it's optimized to capture and convert. Okay, so that's kind of the backstory, because I look at this and I'm like, yeah, you got 3,200 followers. Why the fuck are you talking about Instagram? But this is a new thing for me, but it's trucking along nicely, and so I figured I'd share it. Okay, so this is my Instagram profile here, right? Pretty simple. I've made $6 million plus selling information online. I help people build lifestyle consulting businesses, and then it links off to another newer project that I've got. And then I've got a link to my funnel here, and this is important. Okay, so let me just kind of break down in a nutshell what's happening. People are landing on my Instagram from either other content that I'm putting out that might be linking back to this. So for example, I just sent out an email and in it was a link to my Instagram because I was talking about Instagram, and or they might be seeing me on an ad, or maybe they come there from a YouTube video like this one, whatever it is, right? They end up on the profile, and a certain percentage of people might go and click on this link and be like, oh, that thing's interesting, maybe I'll buy that. That definitely happens, right? And so this is a $50 offer. So you can click here, spend $50. There's a $27 upsell. And then behind this, there's another $100 upsell, a $100 upsell, and then a $300 upsell. So it's a really nice little funnel that's trucking along well. Okay. But I didn't want to leave things up to chance and only rely on that. Okay, and so this is where these two different posts come into things. All right, so one of them is a reel, and one of them is a carousel style post. Okay, so let me give you an example of the carousel style post. So really, all these is the same image. You can see the background image is the same again and again and again and again, and the text is different on each slide, and it's just explaining something, or it's telling a little story, or it's telling people how I do things, where maybe there's a point of difference. So in this one, it says, here's how I sign 4 and 5 figure clients every week without sales calls. I run a marketing-driven consulting business, not a sales-driven consulting business, right? So how is it different? This means my ads, my content, my brand do the heavy lifting, and not closers. Okay, so this really appeals to my ideal audience who don't want to manage a big team of setters and closers, and ideally want to clear up their calendar. Simple traffic systems run 24/7 on autopilot, so new people find me each day. I feed that ecosystem with simple emails, videos, posts to nurture leads. My low ticket offers sell around the clock to the tune of 4 figures per day. I get inbound leads in the DMs and via email who are ready to include blah, blah, blah. I send them a Google Doc. The whole system compounds over time, stays very efficient. Okay, and now here's the key part. The last slide, comment doc for the template to make your own no-call offer today. Okay, and you can see here people are commenting doc, right? And now I've got an automation set up that kicks in that sends over a link to this funnel that I was showing you before. Okay, so that's one way that I'm doing it, where it's literally just like a call to action, and then the automation kicks in and sends them a paid offer directly, right? I've also got Reels doing something pretty similar, right? You can see an example here. But this one is sending to a free resource. Okay, and I'm going to show you how I'm monetizing this as well. All right, so this is another example, right? It's literally just my $6 million lifestyle consulting business comment playbook for a deep dive, and then the caption is just relevant to whatever I'm talking about in the video, and then there's that call to action in here as well, which matches what's in the post itself. So they're the two different types of posts. And then I guess you could say within that, I'm doing two different types of calls to action, either directly to an offer or to a freebie. Okay. But the freebie is monetizing in a couple of different ways. Okay. So you can head over to my Instagram if you want to check that out. But here's where the monetization comes in. All right. So let me just zoom in. Let me get this out of the way. Can I get rid of this? There we go. So ignore the naming convention, but essentially what happens is they comment, right? And then this message, this is just a blank one. Then this message goes out. Hey, just confirming you're looking for the playbook, or just confirming you're looking for the template, whatever it may be. Then someone just says, yep. If I'm sending a freebie, I'm asking for the email, then that's going over to Active Campaign, and then I'm sending over the free resource. Okay. If I'm sending them direct to the offer, I can put this in, or I can choose to not put this in and have one less step and just go, sweet, here's the thing, and sell directly. But if you're doing the freebie, you want to pick up that email along the way. And then if I'm doing a free resource and I'm not pushing directly to the offer, I'm putting in a bit of a delay, and then I'm putting an offer in. Okay, now this one here is for my Lifestyle Business Academy. The details for that are below if you want to check it out. But what I have been doing mostly is just linking people to this funnel here, which is just like a easy no-brainer $50 offer. And then, like I said, there's upsells in there as well. But I always want to experiment, and so I'm just experimenting with sending out my a little video that talks about my Lifestyle Business Academy, just to see how that goes as well. Okay, so it's a really, really simple automation. If you follow my stuff for any length of time, I keep things super, 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 super simple. And so it's either a carousel, like I showed you, or a really simple reel. And then it has a call to action, either for a free resource or for something that links directly to a sales page. And then this automation kicks in and says, hey, just making sure you want this thing. Can you give me your email? Here's the thing. And if it's a freebie, then I'm doing a little delay, and then it's sending an offer so that it's monetizing that way as well. Okay. And then with your free resources, what I would highly, highly recommend that you do. So for example, this is my playbook here. There'll be a link to this in the description as well if you haven't got this. This breaks down my entire lifestyle consulting model, right? But if you go through here, there's going to be links off to different things, right? So you can see here, for example, I've got a full workshop where I explain my content strategy. And so within the resources as well that you give away for free, you can monetize that way as well. Okay, but that's kind of extra gravy. This is fundamentally what I'm doing. So very, very simple. Obviously, you'll pick up some sales through the link in bio. That's definitely happening. But then as well, these simple posts literally take me a couple of minutes to make. You don't need a new free resource every time, right? Like I literally just put this one up this morning. You'll see here, playbook, right? This one here, playbook. This is my main resource that I give to people because it's like, 25 pages long, and it's super detailed and super valuable. Most people charge for this kind of stuff. And I know that if people go through this and they resonate with the model, there's a very high chance that they'll message me LBA and they'll want to become an Academy client. So I focus on getting this resource into people's hands. It also has different monetization pathways built into it. So you don't need a new resource every time. Like you can do one if you want, but it doesn't have to be, right? So for example, in this one, I think I linked off to a different resource. I linked off to a YouTube video where I talk about my 10 wealth principles that allowed me to become a millionaire in my early 30s. So you can mix it up if you want to, but you don't have to. If you've got that like one epic free resource that goes deep into your model, just use that and it will be completely fine. And you can just play around with different angles, right? Like, so you can see here, every day new customer emails flood my inbox, then they DM me to become a coaching client, playbook, right? That didn't get as many, but that's fine, right? They literally take 5 minutes to create. Even these ones, duplicated in Canva, change out the background, drop the text in, boom, done. You can schedule them. You can set this up so that it kicks in for the next post, so you can get it all scheduled out. Very, 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 very simple. Okay, so that's just something that I wanted to share. A couple of simple posts that I'm using, the carousel and the reel at the moment. Like some days are 0, and then some days might do like 400 or 500, right? And so it's kind of all averaging out. But if you've got any traffic going to your Instagram, either off the back of ads, or you're linking to your Instagram from other content, or you've got an Instagram audience but you're not monetizing them, I would highly recommend that you consider leveraging some of these posts, and I think they'll serve you pretty well. Hopefully you got something out of that one. I'll talk to you soon. Cheers.